Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Thiruppaatu. Historical sequence is the third one, which belongs to the place called as Adhigai Veerattanam, and we are going to discuss the fourth verse today. Naatraanathu oruvanai naanaaya paranai nallaatru nambiyai vellaatru vithiyai kaatraanai theeyaanai kadalaanai malaiyin thalaiyanai kadungaluzhi gangai neer vella aatraanai piraiyaanai ammaanai emmaan thammaanai yaavarkkum ariya sengkan aatraanai erigadila veerattanathu oruvanai இறைபோதும் இகழ்வன் போல் யானே. It's a beautiful verse, very deep meaning is also there. I'm going to try my best to explain this, but again I'm sure you're missing the real essence, because if you read it in Tamil you will surely be able to enjoy even more. The intensity of the enjoyment will be multifold, but at least let's try to explain this in a much simplistic manner. He says, Naatraanathu oruvan, which means there are four directions. Lord Shiva is there in all the four directions. Not only that, if you look at the way how our chakras are there, all the way from Mooladhara, if you look at the fourth place, it belongs to the heart, which is called as Anahata chakra. And who resides there? Lord Shiva. So you belong to the fourth adhara, which is the fourth chakra, and that is what he says, Naatraanathu oruvan. Not only that, if you look at from Siddhanta point of view, Naatraanam means grace, Shakti. Basically, Shakti's place is the fourth place. If you look at the fifth place is Shiva. So it goes in the order of Suddha Vidyai. We have already seen this in Unmai Vilakkam. That's the exact sequence. Fourth place belongs to Shakti. So if you look at the fourth place, Lord Shiva is the Shakti for the entire universe. Not only that, if you look at there's something called as Adwa. They call it as 6 Adwa, and the fourth place in that is earth. Or when I say earth, it's not the element earth, rather the place that we live in, which is Sister Gaia. So Sister Gaia is the fourth place, and Lord Shiva owns that place. And not only that, if you look at the way how we speak, the words first comes from Mooladhara, as in it comes from our sacral chakra, and then slowly it moves up, and this is the third place. So when it comes to our heart, then it comes to our throat, and then only it comes as words in the language that we are familiar with. The moment it comes out as words is the fourth place. So Lord Shiva is also there as our words, which means we need to be very, very careful with our words. Whatever we speak today, that is going to be the same experience you're asking the universe to give you. If you speak good things, you're going to reap the good experience. If we keep complaining, we are going to only get a complaining kind of a life. So we need to be very, very careful, cautious about the words that we use, and that's exactly what he says, Naatraanathu oruvan. Not only that, he is also talking about Aham Brahmasmi, which is one of the concept in Upanishad. Naanaaya paran. Nan means Aham. Aya means Asmi. Paran means Brahma. Brahmam, not Brahma, Brahmam. So which means Aham Brahmasmi is directly taken in the first statement itself. He says, you are there as me. You are already there in me. You have already taken over full control of me, and that is where you reside, in the place called as Thirumurai. And you know what? The 5 elements that I'm seeing is all you. You are there. When I see air, when I'm feeling air rather, when I'm seeing water, when I'm seeing fire, I'm able to see you. Every place you are there. I'm not able to see a place where you are not there. So that is what he says, and he says, you know what, your residing place is Mount Kailash, the adobe of Mount Kailash. So you are there at the apex of it. So you are the king of, the ruler of this entire universe. And he says, as usual, as the earlier verse said, he says that you have the river in your head, and at the same time the crescent in your, the moon, crescent moon in your forehead. Along with that, I'm also able to see that you have your bullock cart, which is your favorite vehicle, so-called vehicle. So he talks about that. He's also using a very interesting statement. He says, ammaanai, emmaan, thammaanai, which means, remember in the first verse, when Lord Shiva came to take charge of Nambiyai, he kept arguing, how can you say I'm your slave? What proof do you have? And when Lord Shiva is giving the proof, what was the proof? What was written in the proof? Very simple. Nambiyai's grandfather has written a slavery agreement and had given. Nowadays, the kids are so smart. If we go and give something like this to the kids, they will ask, why didn't you take care of my, why didn't you take charge of my dad? Why did you come now? My grandfather wrote it, right? By logically, you should be taking charge of my father. Father what? Why didn't you take care of him? But why are you coming and asking me to be your slave? So the kids will be arguing the other way. Anyways, Nambiyai was very submissive. Looks like he was much more politer than us, what we are right now. So if you look at it, Lord Shiva said, your grandfather is my slave, right? As in, your grandfather has written that you are my slave. He uses the same thing back. It's just returning back. What he says is, you know what, my dad and my grandfather is also they have also been your slaves. What? Originally, Nambiyai scolded Lord Shiva as Pitta. Pitta means crazy person. What did Lord Shiva do? He said, you scolded me crazy person, right? Now you sing back as with that word itself. That's why the very first phrase starts with Pitta Pirai Sudi. Now Nambiyai is giving back. He said, what did you say the other day? You said that my grandfather is your slave, right? I'm repeating the same. So it's like tit for tat, you know, everything is nullified now. So I gave you Pitta, you gave it back. You said slavery from my grandfather, now I'm giving it back. That's it. So tit for tat, everything is over, sorted out. You see how smart our Nambiyai's verses are, right? Quite interesting, quite deep as well. Anyways, so this is what our fourth verse is all about. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.